Gervonta Davis just posted that he would beat the brakes off of you if you guys fight.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be down. Let's run it. Like, I'll be super, super down. I don't know if
Gervonta needs Jake Paul. Let's be clear, right?
Is there a height limit in boxing?
When one of the internet's most controversial figures targets one of boxing's most explosive fighters, chaos is inevitable. And that's exactly what's happening between Jake Paul and Gervonta Tank Davis. Despite competing in different weight classes, the clash of words between them has set the boxing world on fire.
Jake, what do you think of Jake?
Clown. He's a clown. I know that Jake can't fight. He can't fight. So
Would you look at it as a joke if your team was like, yo, we want you to fight Jake Paul? Would you be like,
yeah,
oh, man?
I laugh at him. You want me to fight him? At first, I didn't like how Jake Paul was coming because of how he was making it look. But now that I see that, I feel as though he's still a clown because that's his personality. I'm starting to respect it because he's not doing it like for the hype. He was really like trying to be a boxer. I think that he's decent.
Yeah.
Like he's good. I mean, he's not good, but he's going that way.
Is he better than you thought he'd be?
Yeah.
Gotta be mentally tough to be in a box. So that's why I don't take that away from some fighters or some people that want to jump into the sport. So just show how tough you are. That's how
it all began with Jake doing what he does best, stirring the pot. During his recent post-fight press conference, he took aim at Tank, mocking his height, legal troubles, and fiery personality. For most, Jake's trash talk is just part of the act, but Tank took it personally. And when Tank's fired up, things get intense fast. Still, he's not completely innocent here either. If anything, he poked the bear himself. This isn't just another online feud. It's the kind of clash that has fans asking if these two might actually settle it in the ring. So, what exactly did Jake say to get Tank this heated? Let's rewind. The drama kicked off right after Jake shared the spotlight with none other than Mike Tyson. Unless you've been living under a rock, you know Tyson came out of retirement for what Jake hyped as the event of the decade. Spoiler, it wasn't. The fight was slammed worldwide as underwhelming. Tyson, long past his prime, barely landed anything, and Jake cruised to an easy unanimous decision win. While the problem child celebrated, the boxing world wasn't impressed.
It wasn't a good one.
It wasn't a good one. No. Yeah. Overall, how'd you just see how Jake fought, how Mike fought?
Well, you can tell something was wrong with the Tyson leg.
That the knee.
So he couldn't. His balance was off.
Oh, that's crazy. You noticed that? I just talked to his trainer and he told me that exact thing. Yeah. His balance was off.
His balance was off.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. Overall, how do you see Jake growing from this, and who do you want to see him fight against now?
I'm like, he's a pretty good.
Enter Gervonta Tank Davis. He wasn't about to stay silent, while Jake gloated about beating a 58-year-old version of one of boxing's greatest icons. Tank jumped on social media, and in an Instagram story, he went straight for the jugular, calling Jake a bozo and a clown for even staging the fight. He ripped into Jake for failing to score a knockout despite being 30 years younger and the overwhelming favorite. And truthfully, he wasn't wrong. For Tank, the issue wasn't just Jake's performance. It was the audacity of promoting a fight like this in the first place. To him, it wasn't just a bad look for Jake, it was an embarrassment to boxing itself. But Tank didn't stop there. He made it personal, vowing to beat the brakes off Jake if they ever crossed paths. Just like that, the spark of a potential showdown was lit. He then followed up with a heartfelt tribute to Mike Tyson, reminding everyone of Iron Mike's unmatched legacy, and calling him a legend who deserved far better than this circus. The message was clear: respect the man, respect the sport, and stop turning boxing into a joke. If you thought Jake Paul was going to let that slide, think again. At his post-fight press conference, he was asked about Tank's comments, and he didn't hesitate to fire back with a classic Jake Paul twist. "I'd be down, let's run it," he said, flashing that trademark cocky grin.
Out of retirement,
When did I retire?
bro, I haven't seen you in like a year or 2 years.
I'm on the road all the time. I'm traveling. You gotta invite me.
I miss you, Ellie.
I miss you too. But first of all, congratulations. Tremendous event, A to Z. One of the best events I've ever been to.
Thank
Now,
you.
you called out Canelo in the ring. Gervonta Davis just posted that he would beat the brakes off of you if you guys fight.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be down. Let's run it. Like, I'll be super, super down. I don't know if
Gervonta needs Jake Paul. Let's be clear, right?
is there a height limit in boxing?
But Jake couldn't resist taking a jab at Tank's height, quipping, asterisk. "Is there a height limit in boxing?" Asterisk, if there's one thing you don't do, it's mock someone as dangerous as Gervonta Davis, even if he's 5 feet 5 inches to Jake's 6 feet 1 inch. His comments only poured fuel on the fire. Jake brushed off Tank's criticism, calling the Tyson fight a success and bizarrely thanking his fans, military personnel, and even farmers. Because why not? But beneath the bravado, he knew he'd poked the bear. And that bear was ready to maul. Tank's fiery posts quickly gained traction, with fans rallying behind him and blasting Jake's fight with Tyson as nothing more than a cash grab and a mockery of the sport.
The baby clown. Tell them get ready. That's what they do. They like to talk off of, they try to get fame off of other people's victories and things like that. So it shouldn't be no more talking. It should be just.
Now, Jake Paul has built his entire career on pushing boundaries. Whether it's trash-talking opponents, stirring up drama, or flaunting his internet fame.
You're a professional boxer, but you don't want to make the fight with me, who you've talked so much shit about, who you said you will spark, who you say I'm nothing compared to you. Where's all that shit talk now, Tommy? You're a atypical professional boxer who doesn't want to make this fight actually fucking happen. This is the biggest opportunity of your fucking life, and you're fumbling the fucking bag once again, and I can't believe how fucking stupid you are.
This time, though, he may have pushed it too far. Trash talk is nothing new in boxing, but Jake's remarks struck a nerve with Gervonta, and Tank didn't take them lightly. Not long after the press conference, he jumped on X to call Jake out directly. Tank's fiery response shouldn't surprise anyone familiar with his past. Gervonta Davis is one of the most talented fighters in the sport, but his temper is a whole different battle. A quick rewind, he's had multiple run-ins with the law, often linked to anger issues. Back in 2021, he faced charges for a hit-and-run in Baltimore that left several people injured.
All right, Annalise, thank you for that update. And developing now at noon, a well-known boxer is in jail right now following his arrest in Parkland.
Gervonta Davis is facing a domestic violence charge. It comes after he's had a host of past legal troubles. So let's go over to local 10 News reporter Roy Ramos.
Yeah, he's live outside the jail in Fort Lauderdale with the latest. Roy?
Alexis and Sanella, this all happened just 11 days before his next scheduled professional fight. We've just gathered new details from the Broward Sheriff's Office as to what happened. We'll get to those in a little bit, but I want to show you what he looks like. You're looking at the mugshot of 28-year-old star boxer Gervonta Davis. He was arrested Tuesday night by Broward Sheriff deputies following what they describe as a domestic incident at his Parkland home. And we've just gathered these new details that say he was involved in some sort of an altercation.
Fast forward to 2023. Tank pleaded guilty but managed to avoid jail time, instead getting 90 days of house arrest, 3 years probation, and community service. But it didn't stop there. While serving house arrest, he was unexpectedly hauled back into custody during a surprise court hearing. And that's just one chapter of his ongoing legal troubles. Then there's his history with domestic violence. In 2020, he was caught on camera grabbing the mother of his child by the neck at a public event. Tank denied hitting her, but the footage spoke for itself, and it wasn't a good look. In 2022, he faced another accusation after allegedly slapping a woman, leading to a 911 call where she claimed, "He's going to kill me." She later recanted, but by then, the damage to his image was already done. Here's the thing, while Gervonta's hands are legendary inside the ring, His behavior outside has people questioning if he's fighting more battles in life than in boxing. Pros and pundits alike have pointed out that the same aggression making him a feared competitor between the ropes has cost him dearly outside of them, sparking public altercations, heated disputes, and leaving him with a reputation far more tarnished than he'd like. But here's the thing, Tank's explosive personality is exactly what makes him such a captivating figure in boxing. When he's angry, he fights like a beast, and right now Jake Paul looks to have triggered that side of him.
Davis, who's like this real pro boxer.
What? I'm gonna break your jaw, I promise you. Don't even bring your mother or your daughter. Don't bring her.
He was fighting trash cans.
Yeah.
Guys who were just put in there to lose. That's not what I'm doing.
Would you take that fight right away if Gervonta Davis like called you out? Like if he said, I want Jake Paul right now, would you take that?
Yeah, 100%.
And do you think you would win that fight with the time that... Really?
Yeah.
Jake isn't exactly innocent here. He's the king of internet antics. And when Tank clapped back, Jake doubled down on Twitter, posting a photoshopped picture of himself holding a baby version of Gervonta with the caption, "Got to put this child to sleep soon." Jake's fans loved it, but Tank definitely didn't. Now, let's get into the fight everyone suddenly wants, Gervonta Davis versus Jake Paul. Is it even possible? The biggest obstacle is weight. Gervonta fights at lightweight, while Jake competes at cruiserweight or even heavyweight, a massive gap. Still, boxing has seen crazier things, and a catchweight bout around 155 to 165 pounds could be an option, though Tank has never fought anywhere near that weight, and Jake's size advantage would be hard to ignore. Style-wise, the matchup is just as fascinating. Tank is known for his explosive power, lightning speed, and ability to punish mistakes, with a KO ratio that speaks for itself.
How your balance felt like?
On the other hand, Jake has displayed surprisingly solid fundamentals, showing good stamina and an effective jab that helps him control distance, a tool he's leaned on when facing bigger opponents.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
If this fight happens, it's more than just a clash of personalities. It's two completely different fighting styles colliding. Could Tank's ferocity and skill overcome Jake's size and reach? Or would Jake's physical advantages prove too much? The debate is fiery, the possibilities endless, and the hype already sky high. Boxing hasn't been the same since Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. Love it or hate it, that spectacle didn't just break the mold, it obliterated it. A 27-year-old YouTuber turned fighter taking on a 58-year-old legend in front of 70,000 fans at /NT Stadium wasn't just a match, it was a cultural event. Sure, the fight itself wasn't a masterpiece. Tyson landed only 18 of 97 punches, and Jake eased up to avoid turning it into a retirement home disaster. But the impact was massive. That fight proved one thing: in today's boxing, literally any matchup is possible. Forget weight classes, age limits, or common sense. If the hype is there and the money's flowing, it's happening. And Jake knows it. He even went as far as saying, "Canelo needs me." He knows where the money man is at. Bold? Absolutely. Delusional? Maybe. But after Friday's spectacle, who's really saying it's impossible? Here's the wild part. The Tyson fight didn't just pull numbers, it created a new blueprint. Jake doesn't care about purists, he's cracked the code. Hype up the fight, play the villain, cash the check. Fans aren't just buying tickets, they're buying history. And this isn't just about Jake. The success of that fight signaled a new era where fantasy matchups aren't fantasy anymore. Imagine Tyson coming back at 59 to face Lennox Lewis. Sounds insane, right? But so did Tyson versus Jake, and it happened. The financial upside is just too big to ignore. As for what's next, Jake might go back to journeyman to pad his record or chase a cruiserweight title. But a fight with Gervonta, Tank Davis? That's a whole different story. Tank is in his absolute prime, and if they ever meet, the collision would be nothing short of historic.
Or precision and extraordinary talent. These are Gervonta Davis's attributes. Davis, also known as Tank, is one of the rising stars in boxing with a perfect record of 29 wins, 27 of which are by knockouts. He is a former 3-division world champion and has been mentored by none other than Floyd Mayweather Jr. With his exciting journey, let's look back and watch all of his jaw-dropping knockout finishes.
Gervonta Davis at 22 becomes the youngest champion in boxing!
Due to the absence of footage from Gervonta Davis's early career, we will skip his first 11 fights and 10 knockout wins. Instead, we will proceed to his 12th fight and showcase his 11th knockout victory.
Let's break it down. Gervonta Davis isn't just another boxer, he's a phenomenon. At 29 years old, he holds a perfect record of 29 wins, with 27 coming by knockout. That's right, 27 KOs. He's one of the hardest hitters in the game, pound for pound, and his career highlights are nothing short of stacked.
And he's a great fighter. He's a great fighter. He's surprised me a couple of times. We've had some word exchanges.
Yes.
But it's all for fun. I hope this fight with Ryan Garcia happens.
Who you leaning on?
It's a 50-50 fight, in my opinion. You know, Gervonta hasn't shown the ability to win a lot of rounds against taller fighters, and then he relies on the knockout in the later rounds, which has worked for him. But if Ryan could avoid that, I think it'll be his power and speed will be and range will be a problem for Gervonta. But if Ryan gets caught, we see what Luke Campbell did.
Yeah.
And Gervonta is obviously a way bigger puncher than Luke. So it's really, in my eyes, the fight could go out.
So, could Jake Paul actually handle someone like Gervonta? That's the million-dollar question. Sure, Gervonta is smaller in size, but his skills more than make up for any disadvantage. Jake might be bigger, but Tank's explosiveness and experience could close that gap in an instant. And let's be real, if Jake wants to be taken seriously, this is the kind of fight he needs. Enough with the washed-up opponents. This would be a showdown against an athlete in his prime. So, who's walking out with their hand raised, Jake or Tank? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon for more explosive boxing news.